It's awesome. WAGSY'S World. WAGSY'S World. Have some fun. WAGSY'S World. WAGSY'S World. Like and subscribe.
Yes, yes, yes. Feel that, buddy. Oh, yes.
Hey everyone, I'm Wagsy. Welcome to WAGSY'S World. Please remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Okay, today's subject, we've got what makes Jim Carrey great. All of his facial expressions and tics. Stay to the end of the video. I've got Jim Carrey's favorite comedians and idols. And also, I have, in honor of Ace Ventura Pet Detective, I've got 3 10-second clips. They're funny clips of my son's pets. So here we go. Jim Carrey, born January 1962, Newmarket, Canada. You know, Jim's a very interesting guy, and he has a lot of quirks. I'm putting all that aside because I think he's a great comedic force. So let's dive into Jim Carrey. 8 years old, he began making faces in the mirror. Boy, no doubt about that. And then he discovered that he had a talent for impersonations. By 10 years old, he wrote a letter to Carol Burnett of The Carol Burnett Show, famous female comedian, and asked her to be on her show with his impersonations and different faces. It was a no. He got a form letter saying no. By 16 years old, he was performing comedy in downtown Toronto while he was working at a tire factory. Now, he had left school because he needed to work and earn money for his family, and they were having a lot of financial difficulties. He was known at the clubs as the Bad Rich Little, so didn't get a ton of success in his early teen years as an impressionist. But in 1980, he auditioned for Saturday Night Live. Now, he didn't get the gig, wasn't selected, but ironically, he would later host Saturday Night Live in 1996, 2011, and 2014. So he got a little revenge on him. He began to improve his stand-up, and then he got a role in a TV movie in 1981, a Canada-produced TV movie. Also in 81, this was big for him. Rodney Dangerfield saw his act and kind of took him under his wing in late 81. Now, he had stints at the Comedy Show and the Duck Factory that would follow with Dangerfield's tutelage. During that time, he also did a lot of stand-up. He did some TV shows, cameo roles, bit roles, and he was also in a couple of movies during that time, getting some attention. 1990 is when his big break came. He was asked to join the cast of In Living Color, which was a hilarious, funny show. And this began his quick rise to stardom, really. Movies followed, like Pet Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Cable Guy, Liar Liar, Batman, and The Truman Show. So from 1992 to 2000, 8 years was definitely his strongest period. He's done in total 42 films, and his box office numbers are 2.5 billion. 13 of those films have done 200 million or more, and he's considered a top 50 grossing actor of all time. So the guy looking in the mirror doing faces did pretty well as an actor later on. Awards, he's 2 for 7 in the Golden Globes category, so he's won a couple. He has a lot of other smaller awards, nominations and wins in TV, film, and comedy, and in Canada and the US and worldwide. Actually, some of those awards fell into those categories. Now, the critics have been very up and down about Jim Carrey. His reception's been very up and down. Most didn't like the simple slapstick comedy films like Ventura and Liar Liar and Dumb and Dumber. But they really liked him in The Truman Show, Man on the Moon, awesome flick, and Eternal Sunshine. So they did like at least 3 of his films pretty well. His net worth is $190 million. Now Jim hasn't really done a lot since 2009 through 2015, but he has started working more of late. So hopefully he'll have a final chapter in his comedic and acting life. I really hope for him. Now, why do I think Jim Carrey's great? I think he's a very talented guy. So talented, that alone really makes him great, in my opinion. Many of his movies use a certain brand of comedy, which is over-the-top slapstick. And I enjoy that. I really do. Brings it back to like the Three Stooges kind of slapstick comedy. But I do concede that that type of comedy can get old for 2 hours. Skits and supporting roles, I think, are best suited for him and that type of comedy. I loved him in Living Color. I think it was the best vehicle for him and his talent. The shorts, the skits, and supporting a scene. But almost all of his movies have a couple of scenes that are hilarious. And they can kind of carry a movie as it goes. And it's all because of his immense talent. For me, the favorite movies, I like Dumb and Dumber. I like Man on the Moon. That's probably my favorite Jim Carrey film. And The Truman Show I like as well. Now, getting to my promises. Number 1, Jim Carrey's favorite comedians / idols. Jerry Lewis. I think that's kind of obvious. If you look at the work Jerry Lewis did, making the faces, being over the top, it's easy to find that would be an idol for him. Jackie Gleason from the Honeymooners. Easy for you to say, Wagsy. Now this one, Dick Van Dyke. When I researched that, I thought, you know what? He is Dick Van Dyke. Tall, lanky, jumping around, moving around. If you look at Dick Van Dyke, the movies he's been in, and even the Dick Van Dyke Show, very physical and over the top, not as much as Jim Carrey, but I can see that Dick Van Dyke would be one of his favorites. And then there's Rodney Dangerfield, who kind of became like a father figure for him in the business, from what I understand. And speaking of his father, one of his other favorites and idols was his dad, Percy Carey, who evidently had a great sense of humor and, of course, was a big influence on Jim doing that as well. Well, it's time to watch the 3 10-second clips that are a tribute to Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. So we're going to go straight to that. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. And here comes the vids.
WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World, it's awesome. WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World.